Hey, hello. If you are watching this, then you're a brand new beauty consultant. And welcome to our Mary Kay family. I'm Michelle Byers, and I'm either your sales director, your senior sales director, and your future national sales director. This video is about giving you a few tips on how to have a great start. And I just want to start off by telling you just a little bit about me. You'll notice I'll probably refer back to a few of my note cards because I have so much that I want to say. But I really want to keep this video short because I feel like a lot of our training and tips are kind of entwined into all of our videos that we have on this YouTube channel. First of all, I have been in Mary Kay for 17 years, and so I have a lot of knowledge, and I am always willing to pour all of my knowledge into you and to make sure that you know everything that I know. And that's very unique in the world today. Someone who might be your boss or your manager is never ever going to teach you every single thing they know because you might take their job. But Mary Kay's different. I want you to have my job, and so I want you to know everything that I know. And that's what these YouTube, training channel, the training channel is for, with all of our training videos. So first of all, let me tell you a little bit about me. I've been in Mary Kay for 17 years, and my husband actually brought home this opportunity to me. I'm not going to tell you my full story, but just the Cracker Jack version. So my husband, we had two babies in daycare. We had a 6-month-old and a 2.5-year-old, and I had a very busy and stressful career in the mortgage industry. We were new Christians, and we were praying about what God wanted us to do about, having our kids in daycare, me being home. And my husband knew that I needed something to do from home, that I wasn't going to just be able to come home. And honestly, financially, I needed something to be able to make some money and provide. I love to work. He knew that I wasn't going to be happy with, sweeping and mopping and all that I needed to help provide. And that's just who I am. And so just started with one party a week for the first 6 months. Every Tuesday night, I would go hold a party and saw the money, saw the customer base grow. And then I'll share a little bit more specifics in just a second. But I always like to tell people the 3 major things that I did that I think stood out for me. Was the first one is I was a good student. I went to every training. I listened to every training CD. At the time, we had CDs and tapes. Now you have all kinds of great things. I watched everything. I was a sponge. Second, I was consistent. When I say that I held one appointment every week, I held one appointment every week consistently. That was my work time. And even with a full-time job and 2 babies, every Tuesday night I held an appointment. Sometimes it would be one person because I wasn't always very good at coaching the class at that time. Sometimes it would be 3 to 5 ladies, 3 to 7. And I was averaging $100 a face at those appointments. And so I was consistent. So that's the second thing I did. Third thing I did, didn't quit. Never entertained it. Was never an option. Quitting was never, ever on the table. Here's what I know. If God, I felt called to this business. No doubt God opened up the doors, gave me the courage. I was a shy, insecure person. I didn't have the courage to order that $100 starter kit. This is nothing that I would have ever done. So it was totally a God thing, and it was totally a calling on my life. And what I know is if you've been called to something, God will never revoke a calling on your life. And so first things first is quitting was never on the table. I knew my husband was watching. I knew my children were watching. And I knew my naysayers were watching. And I was never, ever going to let them win. And then I like to add a 4th thing that I felt like I had going my way was my husband was very, very supportive of me. Well, he brought the opportunity home. He fell in love with the company first. He fell in love with the fact that it was a Christian-based company. God first, family second, career third. He fell in love with the fact that it thrives in weak economies. He fell in love with the fact that we make 50% of everything that we sell, and then there are other avenues of income. So he sold me on the company. He's the smartest man I know. And so what I tell people who do not have a supportive husband, if a man like my husband can look at this company and see that Mary Kay has has had it going on for 55 years, and we're still going strong, and we're highly successful. We're the top 3 most safest and effective product in the world, then it's here to last. And that Mary Kay has nothing to prove, but you have something to prove to your naysayers. Even sometimes if it's the ones that you love, you have to prove that you have what it takes to come into a company that is wildly successful and just walk in the same footsteps that the women who have blazed the trails before you have done. This is a skill-based business. It's like riding a bike. We still do the same thing that Mary Kay did 55 years ago, and it still works. That's what got me the most excited. So let's talk about how I replaced my job. Now, I realize that you may not have come into Mary Kay to replace your career, and that's okay. Some people come in for vacation money. Some people come in to pay off debt. Some people come in, I've had people come in just for granite countertops or hardwood floors or, in-ground swimming pools. It's whatever you want. But what I know is what you come in for is not always what you stay in for. So I came in for a minivan payment because after my husband crunched my numbers of my job, J-O-B, by the way, is Journey of the Broke job, after $50,000 a year, he crunched the numbers and figured out that after taxes, after daycare, and after pushing him into a higher tax bracket, that I was really only bringing home $500 a month. Well, that made my knees buckle. And that's why I just started doing one party a week. And after 6 months, I doubled my monthly, what I was doing with a 60 to 70 hour work week, when I was doing with Mary Kay 2 to 3, 2 to 5 hours, give or take, making deliveries. It was amazing. And that's why I was able to walk away after 6 months of just doing Mary Kay one appointment a week. So it's consistency. That was one of the top 3 things that I did was be consistent. You're gonna have naysayers. We talked a little bit about that. Here's what I want you to know about them. When people try to create your world, they try to create it smaller. Never ever give anybody that power. I had a lot of naysayers. I had a lot of naysayers with a lot of things in my life. But I'll tell you the top 3 things that I had naysayers about. One was this company. And it was actually the same person. She didn't think I should do Mary Kay. She didn't think I should adopt a baby from China. And she didn't think that I should put my children in private Christian schools. And so I will tell you, my life would be extremely different if I had listened to her. Today I have 5 children. We had 3 boys, and we started the adoption process to China in 2010. And then we got pregnant during the adoption process. And my baby girls are only 8 months apart. And my kids have all gone through Christian schools. We just finished our 16th year of private Christian schools. And here's what I'll tell people. It's not always what's taught, but it's what's caught. My boys that have graduated have come out of their Christian school with godly character. They're deep-rooted in who they are, what they believe in, and what they stand for. That was worth every single penny. And my naysayer also thought I shouldn't adopt from China, that there are lots of foster children. But what people that like to tell you what their opinions are for your life, remember, they're going to create it smaller. Never give anybody that power. Only God has that power. But what they don't know is what God is telling you in your heart. And my husband and I were Christians, and we had prayed, and God was just lining things up for us. And I hope that is your case, that you listened and that your heart was pounding, and you know without a doubt that this is what you're supposed to do. God gets absolutely no glory out of you quitting or failing. He gets all the glory out of you succeeding. He gets all the glory. He would not put you in something to fail. And there's a little quote that says, if God leads you to it, he'll lead you through it. So if you're right here, right now, listening to this, you're going to be successful. You just have to keep going. It's like being a hiker. My husband's an avid hiker. And if he stops in midway to the top of the mountain, he doesn't get to the peak. And he doesn't get to see all the wonderful views that's at the top of the mountain. But if he turns around halfway, what was it for? You gotta keep going. The secret is to keep going. And that's what I did. So talk about or pray about it and always know when you're setting your goals, you're going to have small goals. Find a place to win, whether it's, your little charm bracelets. I have to show you guys my charm bracelet. Whether it's your little charm bracelets that Mary Kay gives us, awards us every month for our sales, or if it's your free cars or your quarterly prizes. I wish I had some quarterly prizes. I have some beautiful lamps in my living room. Quarterly prizes are fun. They're really, really nice. I'm working on a big gas grill for my husband this quarter. The cars, 8 cars in 17 years. I'm finishing up my 9th car on June 30th at midnight, which is almost a month away. 9 cars in 17 years. That's those big prizes. That's the big girl prizes. We've had 2 Grand Prix, 2 Saturn Views, BMW, 3 pink Cadillacs, finishing up our 4th pink Cadillac on June 30th at midnight. And then the trips around the world. Find a place to win. Sometimes women need little things to eating their elephant one bite at a time. I was always money motivated, so that kept me motivated. You have to figure out who you are, and you'll figure that out in this business. The ways that I built my business, first of all, I want you to know that this business will always be built around the kitchen table, always. Toe to toe, belly to belly. That's how Mary Kay did it. That's how we still do it. All the other ways are fillers, okay? What are the other ways? On Facebook parties. I know those are hot right now with other brands and other direct sales. And that's a great filler, but that is not our meat and potatoes. That is not where you're going to max out your earning potential at the kitchen table. Putting the product on, building that relationship, connecting. About 2 years ago, I had a new neighbor move in, and she decided to stroll down into my driveway to meet the pink Cadillac person that lived there, and she sold another brand. And she tried to sell me on her brand. And she felt bad for me that I had to go into a home around the kitchen table. And my husband was standing there and my son was standing there. And I don't think she realized who she met. And I said, that's actually what I like. I said, that's where I thrive. I said, that's where I build relationships. That's where my paycheck of the heart comes from. And that's why my customers stay with me. And that's why my customers showed up at my grandmother's funeral when she died. That's why my customers brought banana bread to my front door every time I had a baby, or a homemade blanket. It's doing life with people. And that's what so many people are missing out on today is the connection of who your neighbors are. And so as she turned around and ran back out of my driveway, my husband said, well, I guess we won't be meeting her husband. They moved away about a year later. Anyway, I hope you get my point that the meat and potatoes, your financial future, is at the kitchen table. Everything else, and we'll teach you lots of other ways to have those little fillers. Those are fillers. And all right, so here's ways that I built my business. Now, you may know a lot of people, and we're going to go ahead and tell you, do a hot list, okay? A hot list, get a little spiral notebook, write down everybody that you've ever known with skin. I know, right? Everybody has skin. Work from there. Now, I did not have a hot list because I did not have a lot of friends. And my family they were not interested. They are now, but they were not interested then. And so I started with vendor booths, craft fairs, baby expos, children's consignment store sales. I even did a car show, chili cook-offs. I've done everything. I would sit at my little table. I would have a little display. People would come over and register for a giveaway, and everybody would get a free facial, and some would get little gift certificates. And so that's how I built my business. It worked locally. So I started looking in 10 geographic areas. And I thought to myself, well, how far am I willing to drive? So you look north, south, east, and west, and look at that radius. It's a lot of little towns and a lot of events. And my business just exploded. And so vendor booths, I'm a big fan of. Facial boxes, we'll tell you about those. I did lots of those. Those are great local. And to do some daytime appointments. I always track my business daytime and nighttime because you've got a different clientele and demographic with the people who are home versus the people who work and at home at night. Office of the week, that's a fun thing. We'll tell you more about that. Warm chatter. I am not good at that. I don't do it. Some people are really, really successful with it. It's never been my thing, and I can teach it, but I just don't do it. And so what I love about this business is that there's so many different ways to the top of the mountain. You get to choose the one that makes you most comfortable, gives you the most confidence, and you get the best results. And so those are just some ideas, and we will elaborate more on those during our training, on some of our training on YouTube. Some of the things that I gained from this business: personal growth, spiritual growth, and financial growth. I call it the paychecks of the heart, because you do build those relationships with your customers, your consultants, and you don't ever want to leave them. You would never quit on people. It says a lot about somebody when they connect with people, they build a customer base, and they get team members in, and then they leave. What does that say about you? People are watching you. Your children are watching you. Your husband's watching you. Your naysayers are watching you. That was what was always in the back of my mind. This business is not always easy, but it's simple. It's an emotional business, and your emotions will always be tied to your date book and your checkbook. You're going to have ups and downs. I do. I read a lot of books on how to stay focused and how to not dwell on my emotions. We're women. Our emotions change with the wind. And one of the tips I can tell you is don't plop on your husband. Men are fixers. And if you're like, oh, she canceled, I haven't had a party all week, they canceled, it's this and that. Men are like, okay, let's fix this. Well, just don't do that anymore. Just don't do your business. Okay, well, here's the thing. They don't know that you'll get a call and you'll get a $100 reorder, and you're like, oh, you're all excited again. They're on an emotional roller coaster with you. Men are not like that. And so plop up. That's what we say. You're having a bad day, you call your director. You're having a good day, you call your director. You go up. Don't call your sister consultant, because she might be having a bad day too, and she might not be able to emotionally handle her bad day and your bad day. It's like any business. You don't go into your job and have a great day every day at your job, but you never even entertain leaving it unless you had something else going on. And so this business, you get emotionally stable, okay? Get emotionally stable. If you need some books on that, I can help you with that. What I came in for is not what I stayed in for. I came in for a minivan payment. But once again, you heard me say I have 5 children. They're all in private Christian schools and now 2 in college. And I stay in for so much more. I love that I get to create my own paycheck. And I'll tell you about this now, and I may have to skip over it later. Every June, I have to create like a $10,000 paycheck for myself. Every month, I need to provide for my family. Right now, where we are in the seasons of our life and the things that our children need, education and things like that, I have to provide $5,500 for my family every single month. Well, in June, we have extra book fees, sustaining fees for tuition and things like that. Plus, in July, we like to travel. My husband works for Delta. We travel. We have like 3 or 4 trips every July. And so I'm kind of not working in July. I mean, I'm working, but I'm not working. And so what I do every single year is I create and have the ability to have a $10,000 paycheck to take me through July. And then, get back on the wheel, get back on the wagon and the bike in August and start doing it all over again. Where can you go and have a $10,000 paycheck? And you created it. So I love that. Basketball season is another busy season for us. I only work on Wednesdays and Sundays during basketball season. I do 2 appointments on Sunday afternoon sometimes if I didn't hold one on Wednesday after church. Go to church, go to lunch with my family. I go hold an appointment at 3 and an appointment at 6 because it's basketball season. And I do not miss a basketball game. That's the power of writing your own paycheck, the power of creating your own schedule, and that's the power of designing your own life the way that you want to live it. I love that. My business and how I work is now a well-oiled machine. So I can stand here with all confidence and tell you that I can show you how to do that too. If I'm not your sales director and I'm your senior, Marianne can show you. Trinity can show you if they're your sales directors. And so this is an amazing business. Get deep rooted, dig in, and stay the course. You'll cross that finish line and you'll be victorious. Now, let's set some goals. That's the first thing we want to talk to you about, is setting goals. What are you going to do? What do you want from your family? I'll tell you, in the very beginning, my husband wanted a new truck. Let me just say, I did not get him a truck after my first month, my second month, or my third month. But after a year and a half of my business, after I quit my full-time job, started doing Mary Kay 2 times a week, within 6 months to a year, earned my first Mary Kay car, took the cash, bought my husband a truck. I'll tell you, my boys cried. They were little. That was in 2002. Yes, 2002. So they were just like 2 and 4, maybe 1 and 3. They wanted the red car. That was the first car. It was red then. And we didn't need a little red car. I had a minivan. My husband needed a truck, and so we took the cash. That was something that I worked on, and it was a proud moment. 3 days before I was finishing, and I looked at my husband and I said, it's done. It's going to be done. I already know where it's all coming from. He gets on the website. He starts ordering his truck. How exciting was that? And I was a little nervous. I'm like, okay, well, don't hit send until the last day of the month, But you could see it. It was lining up. It was there, and it happened. It came through because I put in the work. Now, you may not need to buy your husband a truck, but let's talk about your first $1,000. That's so doable. Your first $1,000 profit. What are you going to do with it? Put a tracking goal on the refrigerator. Set a family goal. Maybe it's a fun weekend vacation, or maybe it's a down payment on something. Maybe it's a shopping spree. Do something fun. Get your family involved and let them see you crossing the finish line. If you've been in your season of life or your journey of life and you have never learned how to cross that finish line, we're going to teach you. If you've never been a beast at something, and what I mean by that is, have you ever been a beast and you worked and worked and worked and you finished and you had that feeling of accomplishment? If you've never done that, we're going to teach you. If you have done it, this is going to be easy for you, okay? And so everybody comes in from different walks of life, and there's different ways to the top of the mountain, once again, and everybody's got a different path, but there's still a peak and you can get there. So get a tracking sheet. We talked about that. Now, if you're not on profit level, we'll talk about a little bit more about that. We'll send you a great video. Profit level, we got profit level Patty, where you take a full paycheck. You've got inventory, you've got a full store, 50% paycheck. If you decide not to start with a full store and you're still building up your store, you're going to focus on 80-20, keeping 20% as a paycheck and growing your store with 80 and filling those orders. And so that's building up Betty. You're going to learn all about that. There's going to be 2 really great videos for you to watch. It's going to teach you more about that. And you'll be able to create your own paycheck. I'm just going to tell you the value of that. Something that my family witnessed. 2006, my husband took a huge pay cut. It was company-wide, Delta. Not only did we take a pay cut, but we also had our insurance increase. And it was, for us, it was about $2,000 a month bring home pay cut. Imagine somebody taking $2,000 out of your paycheck every month starting next month. I was 9 months pregnant with my 3rd son. My husband was going to school full-time with rotating days off on 3rd shift. I thought he was going to have a heart attack. I said, hold on, let me have this baby. I can make up the difference. Y'all, I got induced 2 weeks later, recovered for 2 weeks, put the baby in a little pouch. My older boys at that time were 5 and 7. They could stay home and watch a movie if my husband was studying or sleeping, and I would always be back home before he would leave for work for 3rd shift around 10 o'clock. And me and the baby, Hudson, went and did an extra skincare class. I picked up my 3rd skincare class a week. Boom, boom, boom. And within 30 days, made up the difference. And within 6 months, I brought home an extra $20,000 to my family. I created that for my family because this is a business where you control your own paycheck. The extra the extra activity catapulted me into my first pink Cadillac, which was I increased my income by a lot and my production. So in 2008, I was driving to the dealership to pick up my fourth free car, my first pink Cadillac. And that was the year that the mortgage industry had crumbled. And I look back and tell people, I praise God every day that 2001, He saw what was coming in 2008, because I only stayed in it 6 more months after I started Mary Kay. But all my friends snickered. There's some naysayers, snickered, laughed. They thought I was crazy for leaving the mortgage business because the money's too good. But when I don't say this to be boastful, please know in my heart. But I give God all the glory for this, because that year my business was thriving, and all my friends in the mortgage business were losing their homes, losing their jobs, and filing bankruptcy. God had totally raptured me out of the mortgage business in 2001 and took care of my family. And so in 2010, when He called us to adopt a baby girl from China, we had the extra money because of the work that I had done. See, your work will pay you over and over and over again in this business. Don't ever forget that. And so I give God the glory every time I'm able to tell my story, because I trusted Him. And I say this many times, I don't know who that scared little girl was that was insecure, or that scared mom was but wanted to be home with her children, that got a $100 starter kit and didn't know what to do with it. I just trusted God, and it was step by step, day after day, just trusting God. And I just can't say enough. That's all I can say. That's where my spiritual growth comes from, was just every day on my knees praying, God, I'm insecure. Going into people's homes scares me. You know, you get it. I mean, we're all human. If you're not scared, you might not be normal. All right. So you guys know I love the freedom and flexibility of this business, obviously. I'm sitting in my dining room right now. My kids are running around, jumping on the trampoline outside. It's summer. They just got out of school yesterday. They were playing on the trampoline and the pool, running in and out. And I'm home. I'm working, doing my video, doing some paperwork. I've got a party tomorrow night. I love that. I love creating my own schedule. So let's talk about some tools that we use in our business, our area. Voxer, you may already know that. And here's the thing, Voxer is great, but for those of you who are task masters, you might see all these Voxers that you haven't listened to, and you're like, oh my God, I can't catch up. It's okay. Make sure you just listen to the ones that the sales directors say. Me, Marianne, and Trinity. Because I know some of you have full-time jobs, and the Voxers can add up. Turn off the notifications. Don't check out, because that's how we communicate. It is unique. It is a really, really awesome tool. Our YouTube channel, we have videoed all of our training, and everything that you can imagine is there. And if not, we're going to try. We do it every Sunday night, and we record them. The Zoom is every Sunday night from 9 to 9:30. It's a different topic. I always text the topic on Saturday afternoons, and if you miss it, it's recorded. We also do Zoom on Tuesday from 6:30 to 8 at my local meeting. In case you are far, far away from me and you have not plugged into a local meeting, then you can, we call it the Zoom room. Log in, watch my local meeting. Mary Kay was always famous for saying these words: those who show up, go up. If you don't plug in, I can't teach you. I don't know. I can't teach. I don't know what else to do. Be a sponge. Just be willing to learn everything you can. I mean, it's so simple now. Things were harder when I was a consultant. The next decision is, and I hope you're still with me, hang on, we're going to be finished shortly, is having product on hand, getting started, having something to sell. You're in the retail business. Imagine your favorite store took all of their inventory off their shelf and you walked in and they hand you a catalog. First of all, this is makeup, and women have makeup emergencies all the time. They think about us at night when they're taking their makeup off at 10:30 and when they're putting it on 6:30 in the morning. And so there are makeup emergencies. And so having product on hand is going to be the formula for your success, but you get to choose that. We do not force you. Please, I don't beg you. I'm going to give you the facts and you make that decision. I never know anyone's personal finances and I don't want to. I'm just going to give you the facts to help you make a smart business decision based on your income, your earning of what you want to make, and the time that you have. That's another thing. So you're going to get 2 videos. One is from a director named Michelle Cunningham. And the second video you can watch here on our YouTube channel is called Inventory. And I did it. If you have watched, there's my dryer. See, multitasking. If you have watched, if you've done Michelle's video and you go to watch mine and you see all the different packages, those are old packages, but get to the back of that where I talk about paying yourself, profit level Patty, and building up Betty. Make sure you watch that through the finish because it's important. I show you how to pay yourself, how to run your money, opening up a second checking account that has a debit card so that you're running it from a positive cash flow. This is business. Put on your business hat. I don't want to hear anybody say, oh, I'm not good at math. Honey, this is 3rd grade math. We're going to teach you 3rd grade math. It's easy. You can do this. All right. Here's some other things though. You've got to decide if you're going to be in the beginning, you're going to have a boutique or you're going to be an order taker. Cannot be an order taker forever. You will lose business. Women will not, like I said, women will not wait on their mascara and their foundation. They want it now. And your competition is Rite Aid, Walmart, Lancome, Estee Lauder. Then go drive in, get it, and leave. And so you got to have your stuff. We'll show you how to build it up if you don't have the resources to start with it. But please watch those 2 videos and then text your director and let her know your decision. Okay? Here's what's awesome. Mary Kay never wanted you to have product that you got into Mary Kay and you didn't want to be in it. She didn't want you to have the products stuck on your shelf. So there is no guarantee. I mean, there's no financial, there's a buyback guarantee with no financial risk. That's what I meant to say. 90% within a year of purchasing products, if you decide that Mary Kay's not for you, they'll buy it back. And so it's just a no-brainer. There's different packages. Don't do your first order. We will do that for you because we are very strategic about selling what you showing, and you will sell it. Very strategic. And so we know what to put in your first order based on how much you want to start with. And the different packages show you how many faces it will cover. Okay? 40 faces for one, 30 for another, 24 in a month. Okay? Because after 3 to 4 months, you are now going to be dealing with, you've got your new faces. Now you're going to be dealing with your repeat business. Okay? Reorders. And they need it right now. But then you're also, by 3 and 4 months, you're going to be outside of your circle of influence. Okay? You've booked out, and those people don't know you from Adam. So if you give them product, they give you money, you better give them product. Okay? It's just smart business. You have just opened a business. And I love my boutique. I love it so much. All right. Now, let's talk a little bit more about the money thing, and don't freak out. Don't panic. There are people that start with nothing and build up. There are people that start with a full thing. It is your choice. Okay. So let me say that again because people they don't listen. It's okay if you do not have the resources. As long as you're willing to work and roll it in and build it, then you'll be fine. But if you've got the resources, be a smart cookie. Okay. Here's the thing. If you, oh gosh, where was that? Oh, college degree. How many thousands and thousands of dollars do people spend on college degrees and they're not guaranteed a job? We know lots of people who come out of college and can't even get a job in their field, but they still have that college degree. And so it doesn't cost you that much to have product. And if you ever know anybody that's been in business, like my friend's father, when he retired, he was bored and he started a lawn care service. And so his startup costs for the trailer, the lawnmower, the blower, the weed eater thing, the trimmer, he spent over $30,000 just starting up this little side business. And so startup costs for business is normal. Don't let people say it's not normal. You're selling a product, you're taking money. You buy it from Mary Kay for $1, you sell it for $2. It's business, okay? It's business. And if you don't like it, then you sell it back and you go on your way and we're all happy and, you just move on. So here's the thing. Over 40% of the women, when surveyed, said they loved Mary Kay, but they couldn't find anybody to give them their products on time or give them their products, period. And so having products it boosts your success rate. Okay. Now, if you get products and you don't ever get out in the field, you have no success rate. Got to get in the kitchen, got to get around the kitchen table. All right. Your very first order is the most important. That's where you get the most free stuff. Mary Kay wanted you to have a whole bunch of free stuff. So all this free product that you actually get to pick out your free products. 100% profit, smart business, and you'll never get this kind of free stuff again. It's only on your first order. So make it a smart order. Credit cards, some people start their business with a small loan or a credit card. A lot of banks don't give little small loans anymore. And so this 0% credit cards that are out there, super smart. I came from the finance industry. Just going to give you some tips, okay? If you get a 0%, and there are some options that we'll send you, it's 9 months, 12 months, or 18 months, okay? I think you get to pick depending on your credit score. And 0%, that's free money. You pay it off with some of your profit from your Mary Kay, but when tax season comes around, here's what I want you to do, okay? Remember, it's 0% still, okay? Tax season comes around and you're at your accountant, you got your business and all of our great tax deductions from your business. When the accountant says, here's your refund, say, okay, what would my refund be if I had never done Mary Kay? Get that number and then get this number. Know your number. The difference, you pay off your business. So that first tax season, you tell your husband or your significant other, this extra belongs to my business and I'm going to pay off my inventory. And then you have a debt-free business. If you do get the card and you get your inventory on your card, cut it up. You do not need to keep putting it on your card. That's how people get in trouble. You're going to be running it from a positive cash flow. Once again, watch the end part of my inventory video so that you can see how I teach you how to pay yourself, okay? Now, so text your sales director when you decide and you've watched all the videos. Also, let's book your first party. If your director is near you, she's going to come to your business launch. If you're in another state, she might even do one through this Zoom and be at your kitchen table with your guests. We've got lots of ways to make this happen for you. Also, attend your first meeting, attend your first Zoom. Never miss a corporate sponsored event. Seminars coming up that will change your life. Seminar, career conference, all this company sponsored events, that is where you get the big picture. You see the big vision, and it's totally worth the money. If you work for sales in any other company, you would have to go to the sales meetings, and you would be required. Mary Kay doesn't require you, but if you show up, you go up. It changed my life. I would not be sitting here today as your future executive sales director and future national sales director one day if I had not attended my first career conference and my first seminar. It truly changed my life. Okay, now, we're almost at the end. Hang on. Promise, we're almost near. The end is near. All right, Mary Kay University is a little educational program on InTouch. Really, really good. Go in there, start learning about that. There's also color confidence. Do that. We can tell as directors, we can see reports on who's finished it, who's working on it. Be a sponge. That is, if you don't get anything from this from this video, I hope you get that I keep saying be a sponge, be a good student, okay? Build to 100 customers as fast as you can. Magic happens with 100. You're going to get cancellations. You're going to get naysayers. You're going to get people who don't call you back. But when you get to 100 customers that said yes, they like you, they like your product, they want what you have, and they want it for free, your business gets so much easier. Build to 100. How do you get there? Think of yourself this next year as a farmer, okay? I had both my grandparents were farmers, both my grandfathers. And if I was hoeing a crop of land that we've never cultivated before, it's really, really hard. But we had to keep digging and digging. That first season, it was really tough soil. This first year of you building, nobody's handed customers. Nobody's ever handed customers. You build them from the ground up. That's your uncultivated land. So this first year, I want you to work and fight for every appointment, because it's just like that soil. You got to cultivate it to plant that seed, to be able to fertilize it and water it to reap your harvest. Okay? Fight for those customers. 100 customers, do it as fast as you can. In that first year, think of yourself as a farmer. Get emotionally stable. No, it's gonna, I'm here where I am because I've had more no's and more cancellations than you have. Mary Kay was famous for saying that. She goes, my knees are bloodier because I've had more no's than you have. And go out there and get those bloody knees, and I promise you it will be well worth it. Get on Voxer and make your inventory decision. Book your first parties. Go ahead and book your first 3 parties. Call your friends and family. You have the best script of them all. To start my Mary Kay business, can I practice on your face? You're not trying to hand them a catalog. You're not trying to sell them anything. You want to practice putting this product on the face and watch the reactions of everybody that tries it. The sky's the limit. I love this business. I hope that you can see that. I hope you know that I get emotionally attached to your goals and your why. And I'm not going to let you quit. I don't want you to quit. I want you to keep going. I want you to cross that finish line. If you're not, like I said before, if you're not used to crossing the finish line and being victorious, we're going to teach you. We are here to teach you every single thing I know. And thank you for being patient. Thank you for listening. And go and watch all those other training videos. And you know what? The sky's the limit. Have a great night.